Well, lads, this was a huge announcement by Unrivaled, and this is something that is very interesting because this kind of changed things. So Unrivaled, for me, they have announced a lot of players that are playing in Unrivaled this year, and Angel Reese is another player who is not currently on the Unrivaled list.
Angel Reese just got fired, and no one's shocked. After months of chaos, controversy, and missed games, the Unrivaled League has finally pulled the plug on one of women's basketball's loudest stars.
Lads, Hailey Van Lith said she's playing Unrivaled. I'm just putting it out there. HVL said she's playing in Unrivaled, and obviously Sabrina's not there. But like, neither is Angel Reese. Angel Reese has not currently been announced for Unrivaled, which is huge because let's be real, Angel Reese is the biggest draw on Unrivaled.
The league that once called her its crown jewel has gone radio silent. No post, no statement, just one thing missing, her name. And that silence, it says everything. Because when Unrivaled dropped its new season roster, fans noticed instantly, Angel Reese was gone. No mention, no tribute, not even a subtle thanks for the memories. So what really happened behind the scenes? Was this a quiet breakup dressed up as a business decision? Or did the league finally get tired of the drama it once promoted?
It's looking spooky. Angel Reese got suspended. Angel Reese threw her team under the bus. When the hell did this happen, bro? I take a few hours off, go have some dinner, chill, live my life like a regular real American, and I'm telling you right now, boy, all hell done broke loose. Now I'm gonna try to track this thing as best I can because I'm still kind of gathering all the pieces. But from my understanding, there was an article that came out where Angel Reese was like, you know what? I don't want to be here. I don't like these players. I don't care about none of this. Get me the hell out of Chicago.
To understand how we got here, you have to remember how hard Unrivaled pushed Angel Reese in the beginning. She wasn't just a player, she was the brand. Billboards, promo shoots, highlight reels, all built around her name. She was marketed as the spark, the swagger, the edge that women's basketball supposedly needed. And to be fair, it worked, at first. Reese's debut in Unrivaled's inaugural season exploded online. Views spiked, her interviews went viral, and the league's first ever championship run had her face front and center. She even walked away with the Defensive Player of the Year award and an all-Unrivaled second-team nod. On paper, she was winning. But the story that fans saw online didn't match what insiders were whispering.
This is my MVP, everybody, right here. She didn't win it, but she should have. Bang! Did, however, win Defensive Player of the Year. I would have given it to the rim. Bang! Best plays from the best player on this account only, right here. Bang! Oh yeah, you gotta see this one. This is a personal favorite. Hand-eye coordination, the footwork. Bang! Another fan favorite, wide open. Bang! Greatest to ever get their shot blocked, right here. Bang! MVP! MVP! Secret Service! We got a shooter, top of the building. Bang! Another fan favorite, the touch and finesse. Beautiful, and then her grace. To all my lady listeners, if she can do this, I believe in your chances. Never give up. Never! Again, she is my MVP. I want to reiterate. Bang! Best jumper I've ever seen. She leaps out of a gym. The relentless motor on her. She won't stop missing. No one has the drive to miss baskets quite like her. Shot number 2. Bang! One more time. Last one. Bang!
Behind the highlights, there were warning signs, constant technical fouls, turnovers stacking up, sideline arguments caught on camera, and teammates quietly frustrated that her energy didn't always translate to effort. Then came the playoff controversy. While her team was pushing toward the finals, Angel Reese was somewhere else, not injured, not suspended, just absent. She celebrated that championship through a phone screen, FaceTiming the team instead of suiting up with them. Fans called it self-care. The league called it unavailable. But the internet called it what it looked like, a bad look. After that, things started unraveling fast. Her social media presence became bigger than her stat lines. She launched podcasts.
Let's clock some tea real quick.
Branded content, sponsorship shoots, all while fans wondered whether basketball was still her priority. Meanwhile, over in the WNBA, her Chicago Sky campaign looked eerily similar. Injuries that ended her seasons early, then brand deals and red carpet photos that made people question just how hurt she really was. By late 2025, the narrative had shifted. Angel Reese wasn't being introduced as the league's future anymore. She was being labeled its distraction. Inside sources say sponsors were growing nervous. When a player trends more for shade posts than shot percentages, that's a red flag for any brand. The math stopped adding up. Sure, she brought in millions of views, but ticket sales dropped and engagement dipped after the initial hype faded. As one executive reportedly put it, virality doesn't pay rent. So when Unrivaled announced season 2 and her name didn't appear, insiders weren't surprised, just relieved. No press conference, no farewell post, no PR spin, just quiet removal. The league didn't even bother pretending it was an oversight. Because, let's be honest, if Unrivaled wanted her back, we'd all know it. Instead, what we got was silence. Strategic silence. Now here's where the drama really explodes, because this isn't just about one player losing a spot. It's about an entire shift in women's basketball. Unrivaled's decision, whether you call it firing, cutting, or ghosting, sends a loud message. The league is done rewarding chaos. They built their image around personality and provocation, but they've finally realized charisma without commitment doesn't sell long-term. Meanwhile, a very different kind of player is taking over the spotlight, Caitlin Clark. While Reese was chasing clicks, Clark was chasing wins. She's become the league's blueprint for professionalism. No theatrics, no diva moments, just results. Her Fever teammates play freer because of her. Attendance is up, sponsors are lining up, and fans are actually watching full games again. That's the real difference. Substance over spectacle. And when you compare Clark's calm leadership to Reese's constant volatility, it's clear why Unrivaled hit the mute button. They didn't fire a player, they fired a philosophy. Still, even with all the noise, you can't deny Angel Reese's influence. She made women's basketball louder, flashier, and impossible to ignore. Love her or hate her, she dragged the sport into mainstream conversation. But that kind of spotlight burns fast, and now she's feeling the heat. As for Unrivaled, the message is crystal clear. Accountability beats attitude. The league is rebooting its image, and the days of letting one star dominate the headlines are over. Yet the biggest question remains, what's next for Angel Reese? Will she fight her way back into Unrivaled, prove everyone wrong, and stage a comeback? Or will she double down, lean into the villain role, and take her brand somewhere new? Maybe a podcast empire, or her own independent league. Because if there's one thing we've learned, it's that Angel Reese doesn't go down quietly. This firing might have ended her run in Unrivaled, but the backlash? That's just beginning. So what do you think? Did Unrivaled make the right call cutting her loose? Or did they just lose the very player who built their buzz? Drop your take in the comments below. And if you're still watching, type Reese fired so we know who made it to the end. Stay tuned, because this story isn't over, and the fallout's about to get messy.
It's very uncertain for the entire league in general, but you're a free agent for the first time. Have you thought about what free agency might look like for you if you'd like to be back?
Yeah, I mean, I'm a restricted free agent, so I think that changes things a little bit, but I've loved my years here in Indiana. So obviously with a lot of uncertainty, you don't know what's to come, but I've built a life here, and I love this franchise. I love the people, I love the fans, so we'll see what comes. Elliot?
Caitlin Clark just broke down in front of cameras, struggling to hold it together as she said goodbye to her closest teammate, Lexi Hull. This wasn't just another farewell interview. It was raw, emotional, and left Indiana Fever fans in tears.
Hey, you know, it's sad. I think especially when you push it a game to overtime and you fight for so long, your expectations are to win, obviously, and so to lose is sad, but I think arm in arm, all of us together, we can look at each other and be proud of each other. So it's a moment of love for sure.
But behind that moment lies a story most people missed. A story about loyalty, chaos, and what happens when friendship gets caught in the middle of a franchise falling apart.
It's just sad to see this group be done.
Coach was saying that
Lexi Hull's exit hit harder than anyone expected. She wasn't just another player. She was Caitlin Clark's anchor, the teammate who had her back through a season filled with injuries, controversy, and crushing losses. When Lexi spoke about free agency, her words were careful, but her tone said everything. "There's a lot of uncertainty," she said softly. "We'll see what comes."
Yeah, I mean, I'm a restricted free agent, so I think that changes things a little bit, but I've loved my years here in Indiana. So obviously with a lot of uncertainty, you don't know what's to come, but I've built a life here, and I love this franchise, I love the people, I love the fans, so we'll see what comes.
That's athlete code for "I'm leaving," and she did. Lexi officially walked away from the Indiana Fever, and her emotional goodbye sent shockwaves through the WNBA community. Because for Caitlin Clark, this wasn't just losing a teammate. It was losing one of the only people she truly trusted in that locker room. The Fever's season was chaos from start to finish. Rotations changed weekly, roles shifted overnight, and the noise around Caitlin Clark was deafening. Through it all, Lexi was the quiet constant, diving for loose balls, switching positions, and adapting to anything thrown her way. She kept things stable when everything else was falling apart. But that adaptability came at a cost. In her final interview, Lexi sounded exhausted, emotionally drained from having to reinvent herself game after game. She praised her teammates and the fans, but never once mentioned the front office. That silence spoke louder than any words could. She loved Indiana, but not the instability surrounding it. Then came her next move, joining Unrivaled, the new off-season league led by Brianna Stewart and Nafisa Collier. It was more than a side project, it was a statement. Lexi wanted control, stability, and respect. Things she wasn't getting in Indiana. She'd seen enough of how uncertain the WNBA landscape had become. Between talk of a possible lockout, the ongoing CBA negotiations, and inconsistent management decisions, Lexi wanted a future she could count on. Still, her respect for Caitlin never wavered. When asked about her rookie teammate, Lexi's voice cracked slightly. She said watching Caitlin struggle with injuries was really hard, and that she was proud of how the team fought for those who couldn't play.
Lexi, what was it like for you to see your bestie Caitlin struggle throughout the season and just all the time that she had to invest in the training room and all that treatment, then ultimately unable to get back?
Yeah, I mean, it's so hard. I think when you have someone that's so competitive and really so much of what brings them joy is being out on the court and fighting and winning games and competing, and seeing her just struggle not to be able to get back to that place this season, it's really hard. And you don't want that for anybody. You don't want that especially for someone that you know that our team counts on, our fans want to see, you know them personally want to be out there, so it's just really hard. But I think at the end of the day, just really proud of her ability to continue to show up. It's not easy to come in before we leave for a flight and get a workout in and show up and just continue to be a positive energy. So just proud of her from that aspect. And I know she's going to come back stronger than ever with a little bit more hunger than I think she's ever had.
That subtle line for the people who couldn't be out there hit every Fever fan right in the chest. Because Lexi wasn't just leaving a team, she was leaving a bond. On and off the court, she and Caitlin were inseparable. They practiced together, shared interviews, and were often the last two standing after another painful loss. When Clark was double-teamed, Lexi was the one cutting, screening, or bailing her out. When Clark faced the media after tough losses, Lexi sat beside her, quiet but steady. Now that support system is gone, and for a 23-year-old superstar already carrying the weight of an entire league, that's devastating. You could feel the pain in Caitlin's voice during her farewell comments. She tried to keep it together, but her emotions got the best of her. For her, Lexi wasn't just a teammate. She was family. The one person who truly understood what it felt like to be under a microscope every single day. Caitlin has always been known for her fire, her confidence, and her ability to block out the noise. But this moment broke that image. You could see the tears, the frustration, and the exhaustion. She's realizing that being the face of a franchise doesn't mean much if you're standing alone. Lexi Hull's departure is a warning sign for the Fever organization. If someone as loyal and hardworking as Lexi walks away, it means morale inside that locker room is dangerously low. She wasn't running from the challenge, she was tired of chaos. But here's the twist. This heartbreak might be exactly what Caitlin Clark needs to evolve. Without Lexi, there's no safety net, no quiet anchor, no one to soften the spotlight or steady the noise. She'll have to lead, not as a rookie phenom, but as the face of a franchise in flux. The pressure will be brutal. Every move she makes will be dissected. Every teammate relationship will be compared to what she had with Lexi. And you know what's coming next. The narrative that nobody wants to play with Caitlin Clark. The second Lexi signs somewhere else, social media will explode with takes and half-truths. But maybe this is her turning point. We've seen Clark's attitude before. The same intense fire that made her a college legend. Now, she'll have to channel that into leadership. She'll need to build new chemistry from scratch, earn trust from teammates who might not yet believe in the vision, and prove she's not just a highlight reel. She's a builder of culture. Still, this goodbye hurts. The fans felt it, the locker room felt it, and Caitlin Clark definitely felt it. Because this wasn't just the end of a season, it was the end of a chapter that never got the chance to fully bloom. Lexi Hull's departure leaves a void that no draft pick or free agent can easily fill. She wasn't the top scorer or the face of the team, but she was the heartbeat. And now, Caitlin Clark must find a new rhythm without her closest ally. The Fever's front office needs to act fast. They can't afford another year of instability. If Caitlin's going to lead, she needs a team around her that's consistent, loyal, and ready to grow. Otherwise, next season could turn ugly fast. Because no matter how bright one star shines, she can't hold up an entire galaxy on her own. But knowing Caitlin Clark, this pain will fuel her. Every criticism, every doubt, every tear shed in that goodbye will be stored away for the moment she steps back on the court. She's been underestimated before, and every single time she's turned heartbreak into history. This time won't be any different. If you're still watching, drop "Goodbye Lexi" in the comments to show you were part of this emotional moment. Because this wasn't just a farewell between teammates. It was the start of Caitlin Clark's next chapter. One that begins not with a highlight, but with heartbreak, and maybe, just maybe, the rise of a true leader.
I've been saying it for years. I keep telling everybody she's the Steph Curry of women's basketball, college or pro. She is a superstar.
Up in time, Clark for the win!
She put women's basketball on the international map. She shot jump shots from the logo. She went Steph Curry on women's college basketball.
She going for history!
From snide comments to full-blown rivalries, Caitlin Clark has faced more hate in one rookie season than most players see in a lifetime. But what if we told you there are 7 distinct levels to it, each one more ruthless than the last? This isn't just about basketball anymore. It's about envy, power, and what happens when one player threatens to change an entire league. Because every shove, every quote, and every headline tells the same story. How Caitlin Clark became the most talked about, loved, and hated player in women's basketball. Level 1, the casual doubters.
Your only argument for Caitlin is that it would have been a great marketing opportunity and you don't have basketball experience or chemistry with the group listed in your reasoning. I don't want to hear it.
Stephen A., I could actually argue that it hurts the game more if they had given her a roster spot over someone more deserving. Because I think it makes a mockery of the women's game. If the focus on, okay, now we just have to have people because of marketing and their intention, and they're not as talented, we're not putting the best team out there.
Before she even played her first WNBA game, critics said her college game wouldn't translate. Pundits claimed her long-range threes would be useless against faster defenders and stronger players. When Clark debuted with the Indiana Fever in May 2024, social media was flooded with comments like, "She'll get humbled quick." But just weeks later, Clark shattered those expectations, becoming the fastest rookie in WNBA history to reach 200 assists and 300 points. The casual doubters didn't hate her because of who she was. They hated how fast she proved them wrong. Level 2, the eye rollers.
Levels to this thing, and that's just life. We all went through it. Of course. And you see it on the NBA side, and you're going to see it on this side, where, you know, you look superhuman playing against 18-year-olds, but you're going to come with some grown women that have been playing professional basketball for a long time.
Then came the veterans, who didn't openly attack her, but made sure to downplay her rise. Players like Diana Taurasi warned that the reality of the WNBA would hit her hard. Others echoed that Clark needed to earn respect first. Even broadcasters threw shade, saying she was getting too much attention too soon. What these comments really revealed was discomfort. Clark wasn't just bringing eyes to the league, she was rewriting its hierarchy overnight. Every highlight, every sold-out arena, every ESPN headline reminded the veterans that the WNBA now revolved around a rookie. Level 3, the gatekeepers.
This isn't just for Caitlin, but you asked me about Caitlin. If you're going to break a record, to me, if it's legitimate, you have to break that record in the same amount of time that that player set it.
Okay. Now we enter the realm of direct hostility. Cheryl Swoops, one of the league's original icons, became the face of this level when she claimed that Clark's stats were inaccurate and that she was being protected by the refs. Her comments ignited a firestorm. Fans accused Swoops of jealousy. Even ESPN hosts like Stephen A. Smith stepped in, calling out the hypocrisy, saying Clark's fame wasn't handed to her, it was earned through performance. Swoops later walked back her remarks, but by then, the damage was done. A clear line had been drawn, the old guard versus the new era. Level 4, the enforcers.
Here's Clark for 29 points, gets tripped up.
This is where the hate turned physical. During a Fever versus Chicago Sky game in June 2024, Chennedy Carter delivered one of the most infamous hits of the season, a blindside body check that sent Clark crashing to the floor. It wasn't a basketball play, it was a statement.
Chennedy Carter now with 12 points off the bench, and Clark. I mean, that's clearly a foul which was called. The question is, will they call it unnecessary? Chennedy Carter, it happened prior to the inbound, so then anybody can shoot the free throw.
Carter doubled down afterward, refusing to apologize. Her teammate Dejonai Carrington mocked Clark online, tweeting, "Beside every flop is a camera." Fans and analysts exploded, with ESPN and social media accusing the WNBA of allowing targeted aggression. The Fever's coach Stephanie White called it unacceptable, while other players quietly admitted that Clark was being treated differently. This level was pure intimidation, trying to humble her through pain. Level 5, the rival queens.
People are talking about women's basketball that you never would think that we'd be talking about women's basketball. People are pulling up to games. We got celebrities coming to games, sold out arenas, like just because of one single game. And just looking at that, like, I'll take that role. I'll take the bad guy role, and I'll continue to take that on and be that for my teammates. And if I want to be that, and I know I'll go down in history, I'll look back in 20 years and be like, yeah, the reason why we watching women's basketball is not just because of one person. It's because of me too, and I want y'all to realize that.
Enter Angel Reese, Clark's most famous rival. Their rivalry began in college when Reese taunted Clark in the 2023 NCAA championship, a gesture that instantly went viral. Fast forward to the WNBA and every Fever versus. Sky Game became must-watch TV. Reese and Clark embodied opposite energies. Clark, the quiet assassin. Reese, the vocal powerhouse. Reese's post-game interviews added fuel with lines like, "I'm living rent-free."
I just hope y'all know the WNBA don't pay my bills at all. I don't even think that pays one of my bills. Literally. I'm trying to think of like my rent for where I stay at. Let me do the math real quick.
It might cover that. Yeah, it definitely covers that.
What is my, I don't even know my salary. 74? Okay. Times.
Here, I'll do it.
Yeah. I don't even know my salary. Does it? Let me see. They don't even. Yo! I'm living beyond my means. It's like.
Yet behind the theatrics was real competition. Reese fought to prove that her dominance wasn't overshadowed by Clark's fame. Their rivalry pulled record-breaking TV ratings, proving that even hate can drive the league's growth. Level 6, the power players.
If you've only played 540 minutes of basketball, and of those 540, 74 have been against Caitlin, you only got 2 flagrants, and they happen to be against Caitlin. I don't think it's coincidence.
Now the hate shifts from individuals to institutions. Throughout Clark's rookie season, referees faced scrutiny for inconsistent officiating. Data showed that Clark absorbed more flagrant fouls than any other rookie, but rarely received calls in her favor. Even Kathy Engelbert, the WNBA commissioner, faced criticism for using Clark for publicity while failing to protect her. When Clark was left off the Team USA roster for the 2024 Olympics, it sparked national outrage.
Some of us felt like maybe she hadn't proved it in the WNBA, but at this point, she certainly has. So she proved everybody wrong.
What about the guards? Let's talk about the guards that did make it. Talk about the guards that did make it. How they play, Andrea? Because you were one of the ones that say she didn't earn it. How did the guards play that within the Olympics? How did they play?
For sure, but we can't take how Caitlin finished the W season and pivot that to how she would have done in the Olympics. That's a completely different argument.
Look at that point. Look at how she played up until that point. Chelsea Gray had only played 1 game before she went to the Olympics. She was outplaying Diana Taurasi. Was she outplaying Diana Taurasi at that point in time that she was on the team? It's a simple yes or a simple no.
Was Caitlin outplaying Diana Taurasi? But you can't just factor in current play, Shannon. That's all I'm saying. You can't factor in.
Many saw it as the establishment's quiet resistance, a message that fame doesn't buy access to power. Clark stayed silent, saying only, "I'll be cheering them on," but her absence spoke volumes. The league's biggest star was watching from home. Level 7, the Alpha Challenger. Finally, we reached the top. Aja Wilson, the reigning MVP, the face of the Las Vegas Aces, and the symbol of the WNBA's old guard. Wilson's comments about privilege and spotlight during Clark's rise stirred debate. She never mentioned Clark by name, but everyone knew who she meant.
She had this to say about Caitlin Clark, who makes her debut tonight. She said this: Aja Wilson thinks that Caitlin Clark is only popular because she's white. I think it's a huge thing. I think a lot of people say it's not about black and white, but to me, it is. It's really because you can be the top notch at what you do as a black woman, but maybe there's something that people don't want to see, Wilson said to the Associated Press.
When the Fever faced the Aces, Wilson dominated, yet cameras still focused on Clark. That imbalance fueled resentment. Wilson represents the one figure Clark has yet to surpass, the standard of greatness she threatens to replace. But here's the twist. Their rivalry isn't built on hate alone. It's about legacy. Wilson wants to prove her era isn't over. Clark wants to show hers has begun. And that's what makes Level 7 the most powerful form of hate. Respect disguised as resistance. From casual doubt to calculated rivalry, Caitlin Clark's journey through these 7 levels of hate reveals something bigger than basketball. Every shove, every comment, and every snub has built her legend piece by piece. She's been labeled overrated, targeted on the court, mocked by peers, and left out of the biggest stage in the world. But every time she's answered with performance, breaking rookie scoring records, hitting logo threes, and filling arenas that used to be half empty. This hate didn't break her, it branded her. Because the truth is, Caitlin Clark didn't just survive the hate, she used it. Every foul turned into a headline. Every rivalry became a ratings boost. Every critic turned into a stepping stone. And now, as her story keeps unfolding, one question remains. If this is what the league looks like when everyone hates Caitlin Clark, imagine what happens when they have to respect her. If you're still watching, drop Clark Level 7 in the comments. And tell us, which level of hate do you think went too far? Hit subscribe for more deep dives into the drama, rivalries, and power plays shaping the WNBA. About to get messy.